Hey friends, it's Tanya and Ben and we're building a food forest the hard way. So welcome back to the block this week. It's all about one thing and it's fencing. Now I know that doesn't sound glamorous, but trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. In this week's episode, you'll get to watch Ben make the mini digger dance. We'll also find out just how big a fence post has to be before it gives you hemorrhoids. And don't worry, this is funny, not painful. We'll show you how you can use an air compressor to burn out a tree stump. Not exactly textbook, but it works. And you'll meet our brand new addition to the block. She's little, she's rough around the edges, and we're not sure what to name her, so you guys might be able to help us out. First thing on the agenda is to get these steel posts in position before our friend turns up to help us do the fencing. We had to go check with the neighbour that he was okay for us to do the fencing this weekend. He's got no livestock on his property, so that wasn't really an issue. So we had to take out all the old fence posts that were there. We also had to get rid of the barbed wire, so then when our friend turned up and the excavator turned up to do the post holes, that there was nothing in their way and they had a bit of a clean slate. So while Ben is busy making this digger dance, I went for a bit of a walk around the block and I realized there's still a few plants and shrubs that I haven't shown you on the tour, so we'll go through a few of them. One of them is our edible bamboo. So when we planted the bamboo, it was quite small and all of a sudden it has just shot up out of nowhere. So this will have edible shoots on it, but more so we're growing it for a barrier, a wind barrier. Also it is self-mulching and it's just another part of our food forest layers. Another plant I had trouble identifying is this one, which is the golden pender. Now it is quite short because one of the big gum trees actually fell down and smashed it to bits, so it's regrowing and it's probably bushier than a plant that size. But that will also have a massive flower display. So if it's not golden pender, peeps, please tell me. This is native tamarind. It's an amazing plant for this location. We have two of them. They're huge, they grow really well. We're going to go and source some more. And they've got these little orange seed pods. I'm pretty sure you can cook with them. I still have to do some research on that, but these are native tamarind. For a long time, I could not work out what this plant was. Ben couldn't remember. We've got two of them. And then we looked down and we found an ID tag that Ben had put on it years ago, and funnily enough, it's white aspen. This is Bertha plum. We have two of them. We actually got our first fruit off of these guys earlier in the year. There was only 3. The fruit is not much flesh, it was all seed, but it'll be interesting to see once we get a bit more water on these and a bit more organic matter around the base to see if we get more fruit next year. We headed into town to pick up some fencing gear, and as you do, we went to the pub for a counter lunch. On the way home, people probably think we're weird, but there's a lot of this grass which is growing so well on the road to the block, and we thought we needed some really good grass down near the dam. So what's Ben do? Let's just pull over and let's just pull some grass up so we can replant it. So it's time to head home, and that's why you've always got to watch kangaroos when it's getting late in the afternoon. It's time for a fire and get ready for tomorrow. Another project that was on the agenda for this weekend, but not sure. I have got an abundance of grapefruit, lemons and limes. So this will be a preserving feast. and I'm not sure what to do with them. How good is this Kmart juicer? It cost me $4.50. I wish they were paying me for this, but it made absolute light work of juicing the citrus. Now guys, leave me a comment below if you want to see a video on what I did with the citrus, because I made a grapefruit, lemon and honey marmalade, and I also made a lemon and yogurt cake with no oil. All the recipes I've seen have oil in them, and I'm like, no way, I don't want oil in my cake. So I made it without, and it actually worked out. But if you guys are interested in seeing that, leave me a comment and I'll load it up. Wow, that's actually not too bad. Back to the fencing. Today we're wrapping up the barbed wire. Ben's mate's turning up. They actually went to ag college together about 30 years ago, so that'll be an interesting conversation when we're all around the campfire. So back into work. Luckily Ben's mum thought ahead, and she actually made us some Anzac biscuits because I wasn't thinking ahead. So the boys are out doing the fencing, and it's come to lunchtime, and I was like, shit, I've got nothing for them to eat. So what do you do when you've got bacon and you've got farm fresh eggs and we've got bread that Ben's mum's made us? We're going to make bacon and egg sandwiches for the fences. Nothing better than fresh bread, bacon and egg. Yum. Morning. Can you see them? I can't see them. It's the Bobs. It's the Bob show. Today is the day that the excavator is coming to dig some holes for us, the ones that we couldn't get through where it was rock. I'll go show you some of the holes that we've dug, but we had a massive downpour of rain last night, which is great for the garden, but not so great for this excavator coming to dig. Just to show you the type of soil that we're dealing with here, this is what came out of the post hole yesterday. That is just clay, so that's why we have to keep improving the soil. Our local excavator guys just turned up, so the boys are just talking tactics and what the plan for the day is. We're trying not to disturb too much. Obviously with the tracks on the excavator, we're going to have some damage to the grass, and the top layer of soil is going to be compacted a little bit more, but it's all part of the process. We know there's going to be some damage. We can't get past that, and especially today with it being a little bit wet, but that's only in some areas of the yard because some of our soil is just rock hard. And you'll see it with the excavator trying to drill holes. It nearly broke it, and there are places that we could not even get holes dug because of the rock base. So we're going to have to work out another way, especially down the back fence. We did not get the holes dug that we need, so we're going to be doing a lot of stuff by hand over the next couple of weeks. We have a lot of these markings now dotted around the block where we were supposed to have a post hole, but we don't because of the soil, the rock. As you can see, there's soil, but there's more rock than soil. So we've had to change our plans a little bit and get the excavator to do the holes it could do without damaging the guys' equipment. Isn't there some saying, think before you dig? Well, we didn't. There you go, that's the main pipe from the tank to the dam. Whoops. I just wanted to show you the difference in the soil. So this is all taken on the same day. We had rain last night, remember. We've got sand, we've got rock, and then we've got clay. So that's our dilemma, and that's our struggle, I suppose, with growing a food forest here. That's a big post, Rowdy.
Oh yeah, it's a big post. A few bloody hemorrhoids in there.
So that was just one of the classic lines that came out of Rowdy's mouth while we were fencing. So it really did keep the mood elevated. And we didn't really feel like we were working too hard. Well, I didn't feel like I was working too hard. The boys might have. But some classic Aussie humour, some of that would not make it onto YouTube. I just walked past my Atherton raspberry and it's starting to fruit. Pretty excited. I'm just in awe of the work that Rowdy has done with these ironbark posts and stays. So everything has been chainsaw chiseled, if that makes sense, and fitted in together like a little Meccano set. I just love the look of timber. I love the look of big timber, and I'm so happy with the way that this gate has worked out. This is actually going into our neighbour's property. You've always got to think of multiple uses for things. That's a good size post. Ben decided to use this Clip-X fencing, so it actually clips on to the metal stake and you tension it a bit different to a traditional fence. But the fencing is more for keeping in possibly a dog, don't know, and some chooks.
The seat might even go back too.
And here's the new addition to the farm, plus some driving lessons. Been a while since I've driven a manual, but hey, I've got some new transport. This is my Chariot, so once I get my chooks, my llama and my dog, I can take them for a drive around the block. Off we go! Woohoo!
The gear's pretty slow too, you know.
Nah, she'll be right, mate. She's not going nowhere, innit?
She went to second, you know. Second gear's pretty good though, roads actually.
Okay, the real reason for the car, it's not for the chooks, the llama and the dog. It's to take supplies from the top of our block down to the bottom of our block, which we haven't really shown you guys yet, but it's down a rocky little slope. And this has four-wheel drive, so we can put stuff in the back and go up and down the hill easily. Oh, look at that. I made it back in one piece. You guys have got to help us name her. Give us some names in the comments. It's Rowdy's last night here. They've been fencing all week. The best way to celebrate that is to sit around a stump fire, but Ben is giving it a little bit of oomph before we start it off. Hold up a beer and watch this. Oh my God, folks, do not do this at home. Might have a little bit of an issue this morning. Kangaroos aren't used to the fence, so I've got to get them out of here. It was pretty necessary that we felled this tree. It is an ironbark, it's dead, it has started to rot out, and it's right over our original campfire area. But also, if we are going to be putting an extension on to the shed with an outdoor kitchen, if this thing did come down, it would come down on us and that extension. So while Rowdy's here, we're making the most of him and his tree lopping abilities. So last night we actually had an attempt of starting to dry it out. We put a crowbar down the middle, lit a fire. It's still quite hot in there from last night, but what we've done, well, I've not done it, Ben's done it. We've dug some holes around the bottom, because what happens is once we drill some holes, and it's nearly like a vent that comes up, and it just burns a lot quicker from the inside, burns all the roots away. Again, we're adding stuff back into the soil, and we can sometimes get biochar from that, which is great. We've got some really noisy little willy wagtails around at the moment. So that's what they've done in preparation for this being a bonfire. Everyone loves sitting around a fire. It's like a volcano. It's already drawing oxygen through. There we go. It's started. Just threw a little bit of paper in. Whooshka. To really get this stump pumping, the boys have hooked up the air compressor. We've drilled some holes into the stump to help the venting, and we're about to crank it up.
Put the finger in that hole. There you go.
Oh my God! Woo! And that's a wrap, guys. That's it for this week. We hope you've enjoyed our episode of us showing you a little bit more around the block and the fencing that we were doing. We're not totally finished, but it is time for Rowdy to go home. So we had a great night. Don't forget, please like, share, subscribe, or all three, and we'd love to see you on the next episode. Bye.